Good morning, or whatever time of day you're listening. I want to welcome you to the inaugural episode of Calendar, our celebration of calendaring. I'm Timothy Oliphant.
And I'm Timothy Berkowitz. No relation.
We have different last names.
Oh, no. I mean, no relation to David Berkowitz.
Who- Is he an actor?
He's a famous guy. You can look him up later.
I'll look him up. I'm sorry. We often get sidetracked. Um, so today we wanted to just talk about a few things about how calendaring is going in our own lives with the pandemic, which is so tragic and a horrible time for the country.
It's tough. It's really tough.
It really is. We're all working from home, and we have more time for our calendaring, which is the only positive thing that I've seen. I do have a big problem though with all of the craft stores. When you go into the scrapbooking aisles,
Yes.
they're empty. Everyone's at home doing their scrapbooking, which
Yeah.
I would also like to.
Which, first of all, why is the aisle called scrapbooking aisle?
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Right.
Well, those people have taken over what is rightfully our craft, and now it's all you hear about is scrapbooking. Ever since whoever I want to find out who took that first stance and ran with that, and find out what happened. That now calendaring doesn't even. We don't even have an aisle in the store.
Yeah, I know. I mean, why doesn't Netflix make a documentary about that, right?
I don't know. They made a, have you, this is a little bit of a side journey.
Okay.
Have you seen Tiger King?
You know what? I have seen him on the television.
So that doesn't seem to me like something that you should make a documentary about when you've got calendaring being pushed out of the industry by scrapbookists, if you will.
I mean, the importance level alone, it's unbalanced.
I mean, I love animals as much as the next person, but
who doesn't?
I mean, they have their place, and it's not in a documentary.
Right.
When there are things as important to us, anyway, and to our troop. I do need to give a shout out to Calendarist. Shout out, Calendarist Troop 4077. Thank you for sponsoring this podcast. They contributed $62 this episode to get us a few. I purchased my tea with it.
I bought myself a mug as well.
I didn't buy the mug. This is Midgie's. Midgie often tries to strive for a perfect day, so she received this for a Mother's Day gift one year.
Oh, well, letting you use your mug is probably a good start to a perfect day, right?
Yeah, it is. It really is. As well as this podcast.
Oh,
Be so bold. And I was feeling a bit bold today. I opted for a bit of a vanilla chai, which is, I don't often do that when I'm calendaring, though. I try to keep it very mild. My routine usually, especially in the evenings, I like to have a nice warm bath, put on some smooth, light jazz.
Ooh.
Maybe if I'm feeling really naughty, I'll have a glass of Merlot. And then just spread out all the events from the day and try to pull them all together.
I'm picturing that right now. It's delightful.
It's very relaxing. Very relaxing.
I bet.
I'm in my element. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah. Most nights I spend scrapbooking, calendaring.
I'm going to edit that out. I will admit I've made the same mistake when I'm talking to Midgie, because I'll go on these rants, just endless rants, and she's sick of hearing of it.
Yeah,
and I'll say the word scrapbooking so often that I find myself accidentally slipping and referring to it as that.
Well, and like we mentioned, all of my materials, the majority of my materials say scrapbooking right on the label.
It's infuriating.
I mean,
Infuriating.
really, really. But I'll spend it. I spend my yesterday evening. I spent, like most evenings, calendaring with my all of my knickknacks, my stickers, my photos, um, and my day planner, my travel calendar, as I like to call it, spread out on the coffee table. There you go.
Right in my pocket.
Yep, spread out on the coffee table. A hungry man dinner on the corner. You know, usually I have to warm that up 2 or 3 times because I get so focused I just don't eat it. And so,
And there, my friend, I've had an entire glass of Merlot go warm.
oh, an entire glass.
Entire glass.
Wow.
Uh, a second thought, though, I don't think I will be editing that out. Your mistake, because none of this conversation would make sense after that.
Right, that's true. That is true.
So you noted your stickering. You've
Yes.
been very big into stickering for 20 years now.
About 20,
About
probably.
20.
Probably. You're aging me on the show.
I don't want to age anyone.
But
Um,
yeah, right around 20 years.
how has that enhanced your calendaring?
Oh, I mean, how hasn't it? I find that a good practice is to get as many stickers as you can. If you go to a Joann's, a Hobby Lobby, a Walmart, anywhere, buy every sticker they have, because you never know. You never know when you might need to take. I like when I have to take Pepper to the vet. Pepper's my baby. When I take her to the vet, then I put a little dog sticker on that day, and it saves me for writing, whatever it be, grooming, deworming,
You don't even know how, you don't even know how
whatever.
to read.
Right, and not at all. And it's a time saver, and it. Let's be honest, it's prettier. It looks pretty.
That's very nice. I don't use pictures on my calendars. I do
Tell.
I do have a very bad I'll call it an addiction to
Okay.
the small colored post-it notes, the very tiny ones. And
Ah, yes.
Iggy doesn't use anything like that. She just scratches right onto the, onto the counter. Sometimes in ink.
Oh, what?
Sometimes.
I don't.
Um,
I will admit there are days I don't know how you do it, sir.
she's not. I don't think she understands what it means to me. But the family calendar is atrocious some days. Uh, I'll spend an entire Merlot soaked week fixing that thing, and
Oh my goodness.
a week later I'll come back and I don't even recognize it.
I'll tell. I'm gonna good vibes. That's all I'm presenting right
I,
now.
I
Good
appreciate
vibes.
that. I love her to death. I really do, and quite often she's offered the perfect day. But she does not get the calendaring thing at all. And uh, I'll be honest, we kind of had it out a few years ago. She met up with some woman at work,
Okay.
and one of the reasons I made her quit her job, actually.
All right. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I don't make her do anything. I encouraged her that direction.
Right. Right. Well, of course, she's her own person.
She is her own person, not a person who's good at calendaring. But
Right.
this woman she worked with talked her into some party where they sell scrapbooking paraphernalia, and she
Okay.
got so heavily into scrapbooking for about 2.5 weeks, and I just I I tried to share with her you could use those same skills doing
Right.
something of value like
Yeah.
calendaring, and she
Yeah. No,
wouldn't
I
hear it.
just
She wouldn't hear it.
mm-mm. That leaves a bad taste in my mouth.
Yeah, I bet it does. So speaking of calendaring,
Yes.
um,
Let's.
What events do you have going on this weekend? I know we're all trapped at home, but it is a long weekend.
Right, right. Well, with the extra day, I'm probably gonna organize some of my upcoming events. Currently, between work and personal, there's just so much. So I'm going to organize some of those. Probably, I'll probably start the weekend that way, organizing events. Um, you know, of course, if the weather holds, I'll probably take Pepper on a walk. She does enjoy that. Uh, I'll probably do some more calendaring. I mean, I've got half a dozen lined up for 2021 already, but I'll be honest, a fair number of those are presents that are getting ready to go out to a few lucky individuals.
I do envy them. um, Speaking of presents, a gift
Yes.
from me. I wanted to show you this,
Oh,
and everyone
absolutely.
everyone at home.
Yeah.
This was sent to me by my father after years and years of trying to encourage him into getting into calendaring. This is his first attempt. He did this
Hey,
in uh, Microsoft Calendar Creator for Windows. I believe that's made by Microsoft. Is it?
I
I'm,
think
I'm,
I
I'm not
think
sure.
so.
But I mean, I think we can all admit that's where we all start is with
Right.
the calendar
Right.
creator programs, and then we
Yep.
just broaden out. He's done a fairly good job with it. He's got one of the things that impressed me is that he took the birthdays and anniversaries and any special event of every single person in our family, and we have. Let me tell you, there are last count 67 or 68 now. We've had a new birth, 68
Oh,
different people on one side, and I think
ooh,
30 some on the other.
that is
Um,
a colorful calendar.
it's not colorful. It's
No, I mean, I'm sorry, metaphorically.
oh, metaphorically,
Yeah.
yes, yes, I agree with
Yeah.
that, 100%.
Mm-hmm. No,
100%.
can you hold it up one more time though? I
It
just want to. That is something of beauty. I mean, look at
is for a first attempt. That
for
is,
a first timer.
it.
Yeah.
It almost seems like he's been doing this for years and years and years.
Right. Right. I mean, you mentioned it was a present that you can feel the warmth of that just
Can
radiating
uh,
through the camera.
Giving the gift of calendar is one of the most precious gifts you can give, especially when it's filled out with all of these important dates. I'll
It
never
really
forget
is.
any of them if I look at this calendar.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, and that's uh, at its basest level, at its basest human needs level. Isn't that what calendaring is about?
It truly is. It truly is. It is a gift of humanity to be able to put all these dates in an organized fashion that you don't forget them. You don't forget them.
Right.
I can't
Right.
remember the last time I missed a date of anything. I will say though that when I texted you,
Yes.
I put the time for this on the calendar as 12 o'clock, and I texted you 1 o'clock, and
You
I
did.
was embarrassed. Let me tell
You
you,
did.
I
Boy,
was.
I had quite a chuckle with that. I must have laughed for a good solid 28 seconds or so.
That's quite a laugh.
It is.
I had just spoken to you about it as well, and I knew that you had a 1 o'clock meeting on your calendar,
Right. Right. On my calendar, my work calendar,
your work calendar.
and
Yes,
my combined calendar, but primarily on my work when I'm sitting in front of my work computer.
I never combine my work and my personal calendars at all. And
Really?
and the family calendar, that is off limits for
Well,
programs.
I mean, the family calendar, I think we know is a bit of a Wild West situation at
It is a
times.
Wild West. Midgie put our dental appointments, each individual dental appointment on the family calendar. And I thought that was a very good use of the family calendar.
Right.
However, she did it a week before the appointments. And I'm
What?
a planner, obviously.
Yes.
So the lack of forethought, she claimed that she had just made the appointments, that appointments had come open altogether.
Yeah.
But that just didn't sit well. I mean,
Oh,
if you're
no,
gonna
not at all.
calendar something, you calendar it. And
I'm agitated. If Pepper wasn't sleeping next to me, I'd be taking a lap now. That's
Well, you'd be off camera.
right. Well, yeah, but
I'm
I'm
glad,
telling you, that's yeah,
I'm glad Pepper's
that's
asleep.
frustrating on a lot of levels.
There's so many levels. And
Yeah.
um, I mean, I went to the appointment. I needed my teeth cleaned,
Well, yeah.
but just mm, the sheer frustration. I do want to say that I do love my wife, though. I do.
Well,
She
good.
has many positive qualities.
Yeah, sure.
Calendaring is not one of them.
Yeah.
Wasn't great at scrapbooking either.
Oh, which which is odd because it seems like those who can't calendar typically scrapbook.
That's true. That's true. So maybe it's not her fault. Maybe it doesn't have anything at all to do with little Midgie, and she can't help it. And I am too hard on her about it. Even if she
Yeah.
could help it, I'll be honest, I'm way too hard on her.
Well, I mean, sometimes it's good to air those grievances, even if they're, even if they're unfounded, or in your case, if they're justified.
Correct. Correct. I do air a lot of unfounded grievances.
Yeah.
I've got a little space on my calendar for it. That's not
Pencil it
true.
in.
That's
Pencil it
not
in.
it's not true. Oh, speaking of penciling it in, I wanted to share the the mechanical pencil that I got for my
Ooh,
carry-on calendar.
yeah.
This erases so cleanly because of the last thing that you want on your personal calendar is smudges.
Of course.
Now, I will say on
Yeah.
a work calendar, smudges where you've moved things around, that can kind of look impressive. It can kind of look like you're doing your job a little better,
A little bit. Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
hard to do on Microsoft Outlook. You know, you're not going to smudge.
Yeah.
It's not going to look like you're working that thing.
The smudges don't show up nearly as well. Wait, and I mean,
Exactly right.
even you can smudge it, but it's only on your end. Then
Well, I don't know what you mean.
if you put a smudge, if you kind of fake a smudge
Mm,
on the calendar that you're viewing, you only see it. Your boss isn't going to see that smudge when they walk by their computer.
okay. Well, I can. I don't really get it. I don't. It's. A side note, while I do enjoy the mechanical pencil, my sister, who is a scrapbooker,
Oh, yeah. Well, there's one in every family.
I know there is,
Yeah.
and unfortunately, she's very skilled and very gifted at it. But
Ah.
she prefers the Ticonderoga pens that they erase very cleanly, very
I've
smoothly.
heard
So
that.
there are multiple options out there for you. Um, But back to what I was saying, Midgie may not be gifted in calendaring or scrapbooking, which gladly not scrapbooking, but she has done some very amazing quill art, which is also with paper, which surprises me that she would be that someone who's as good at quilling would
Yes.
not be good at calendaring. And
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I said, it could be very well be that she just doesn't have the skill and can't help it. But if you can put that kind of effort into quilling and come up with
Yeah.
some of the most beautiful things, I don't know why she wouldn't be able to put more effort, a little more elbow grease, if you will, into into presenting a beautiful calendar.
Right. Yeah, you would think so. I mean, it's really more about the attitude than the skill level a lot of times.
Uh,
Sometimes to make some truly amazing calendars, you need a certain level of skill. But a lot of times to make a clean, concise calendar, I think it's more about the attitude and the effort.
I, I will disagree with you there because Eleanor in Troop 4077, Eleanor has a amazing attitude about it, but I can't read a dad blame thing that she puts on one of her calendars. I just can't. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Well, yeah, some of that might be the stroke, but Um,
Yeah, I hadn't really considered
I do understand what you mean though.
that. I hadn't considered that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, it's been a great first episode.
It
Thank
has.
you, Mr. Berkowitz, for joining, and
And Mr. Oliphant, I couldn't have picked a better partner.
appreciate it. Next week, we're going to try to show off some of our work, how we do calendaring, and make sure that we can have a nice conversation about what we can offer you. We would never try to
Right.
impose our will on your calendar, and calendaring is a personal
Absolutely.
thing. But if we can give
Absolutely.
any kind of insight or advice,
Mm-hmm.
we're happy to do it. So
Tips, tricks. Um,
whatever it may be.
yeah.
So once again, this is calendar, and we're going to sign off and
Yeah.
have a wonderful week.
Thanks again, Troop 4077.
Yes, thank you very much for sponsoring this episode, Troop 4077. We sincerely appreciate you.
Yeah, we certainly do.